better.
Okay, hello, welcome to H3, the show about health, hope, and happiness. I'm Alan Friesen, also known as the Acapellist. With me is Brother Scott Sweetman. How you doing tonight, Brother Scott?
I'm very good and excited that we have someone else joining us in our little H3 ecosystem.
Woo! Cheryl, let me tell you about Cheryl. She is, I'm going to put this up here, CEO, spiritual coach, master healer, speaker, and author, founder of Azarias Energy Healing Certification Program. And that's her contact info, her phone number, and her website. So, Cheryl, right off the get-go, the whole Azarias Energy Healing Certification Program is where you take a student and you teach them how to be an energy healer over a number of weeks, kind of a thing. Is that correct?
Yes, over a number of months, very powerful energy healer.
Got it. Excellent. Excellent. Well, like, we want to know more. You've authored 2 books, so you want to tell us about those books first, or how would you like to start?
Sure, I'll tell you about my books. I just want to say I'm happy to be part of your H3 thing going on here. I'm honored to be here. And I know where Lethbridge, Alberta is. I have been there many times, been through it mostly, stopped once. And so I've been on a spiritual journey for over 30 years, been a spiritual entrepreneur. And my first book that I wrote is Heal Your Neck Issues and Let Your Throat Chakra Shine.
Okay.
And it's really for people who know they have throat chakra issues. You guys are familiar with the chakra system?
Yeah, I believe we have 7. Isn't that correct? 7 chakras.
Yeah. Most people are today. When I first got into the chakras, nobody knew what I was doing or what I was talking about, or very few people. And
Yes.
And what happened through that program, I wrote the book and I helped people through my program. And I started to work with coaches and other entrepreneurs who weren't getting clients. And what I realized, it doesn't take long to clear their subconscious blocks so they can step into who they truly are and attract those ideal clients. You know, I don't do a lot of marketing. People just seem to find me. And so these fellow authors were saying, where are you getting your clients? I'm like, they just kind of fall out of the sky. So the long and the short of it, I helped them become client magnets. And then I wrote the book, Client Magnet, the Coach's Guide to Attract Ideal Clients Through Spiritual Awareness. And I am submitting my final manuscript for my 3rd book, From Block to Powerful.
Congratulations.
To Amazon tomorrow. So I'll be launching that at the end of August.
Wonderful. Congratulations.
And what's the 3rd book is going to be called what?
From Blocked to Powerful.
Okay. And back to your whole thing about the throat chakra. So for people that are having challenges in their, like, connecting with people, that kind of thing, is that normally a throat chakra issue? Is that correct? Or
yes, it can be, especially if they have a hard time feeling seen and heard, if they really have difficulty expressing their truth in relationships, that's a hard time connecting. And we often hide our truth. So one of the symptoms of a throat chakra is we're kind of hiding, pretending. And that comes usually from early childhood conditioning that we're not even often aware of until much later, or until it's too late. And the ultimate level of the throat chakra is to express all that we truly are. And the thing is, you know, I wrote the book about the throat chakra, and I have to say this: all your throat chakra issues have nothing to do with your throat chakra.
oh,
They all, it's energy, it's an energetic flow, and the issues start in the root chakra, where we don't feel safe and stable to express
Right.
our truth, right? We don't have that trust and faith in ourselves, in the universe, and in others. And so all that energy rides up to the other chakras, and then the throat chakra is like a bottleneck, and it all gets stuck there. And as much as we want to amplify this chakra, it can be very challenging for a lot of people. But it you know, all the chakras are an interconnected system of energy centers. And so it's just like our liver can't function without the gallbladder, and we need our spleen, and we need our heart. It's, it's just like the organs and the endocrine system. They all need to be functioning well.
Nice.
Sorry, Cheryl. Just some of our listeners and viewers may feel like they've sort of jumped in the deep end here. And you did cover it in that, chakras, the system of energy. But for, the people that may not be familiar with the subject matter, can you give us just a short introduction and try and, get everyone on the same page so we can continue the conversation? What are we dealing with here, right?
Yes, we are dealing with energy. And so we all know we are energetic beings. There is energy flowing through us all the time. And Kirlian photography has demonstrated countless times, science, that we are light, that we have light, and energy is light. So the chakras are kind of similar to the meridians. The Chinese meridians are channels that flow through us. And the spine is our biggest conduit. It's our biggest conduit. So the heart chakra is the hub of all the chakras, but the spine, energy is running up and down our spine all the time. And when that's blocked, when it's not flowing as well as it could flow, we have problems in all areas of our lives, in health, career, relationships, and even spiritually. And so even in the Vedic system, I did my yoga teacher training in India, and there's the Ida and Pingala that run up and down the spine, and there's Shushumna. But also in Chinese medicine, I have a diploma in acupressure, and it's the bladder meridian that runs up and down the spine. And with the chakra system, all the chakras are located on the inside of the spine. So there's that one big pathway, folks. And that energy is flowing. It's like the veins in our body transfer all the blood. Well, the spine transfers all the energy. Is that helpful? Uh-huh. And I see the chakras. I do chakra readings. And so I see the chakras as light centers, and I see the flow. And then I see where there's black, and those are some blocks. Yeah.
So you're saying that if we were in person with you, you could look and see our chakras and the energy flow and see where we have blocks. Is that correct?
Mostly correct. I could have a look at your chakras right now online. I do all my work online because separation is an illusion. The energy healing that I teach and the energy healing that I practice with my clients is all done online today. I used to do it all in person, but
okay. Can you do me?
You want to be that vulnerable? I'd be more.
Oh, yeah. I want to do it.
On this show, we share everything. There's nothing we have to hide. Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Do I have to get naked for this part, Cheryl?
You can if you want, but you don't have to.
Okay. All right.
So what's your intention? What would you like to get out of this? So if you can imagine any area of your life that you would like to see improvement, or where you would like to be, what's your biggest struggle right now?
Well, I think that the nature of my work and the nature of my relationship, my personal relationship at this time, is that I have to be very able to handle rejections. Like, that's the realities. We're all connected, but when you're connecting with somebody that is not ready for what you have to share, or isn't, receptive to what you have to share, isn't perceived as valuable to them, right? Yeah. Then that would be a rejection, right? No, no thanks, not interested, right? And so I guess I'm looking for what in my chakras needs to be aligned, and what could I do personally to correct that blockage that I might be experiencing.
Okay, let's have a look at that. We'll see what's going on with you. So the way this works, this is so much fun. I only ever did this once before, live like this.
All right.
Woman. So I close my eyes and I say a prayer silently, but usually as soon as I close my eyes, I get one major message from the universe that the universe wants you to hear right now, the most important thing. So I get that. I'll let you know what it is. And then I start with the root chakra and go all the way up. So this usually takes me about 15 minutes. How much time, maybe 20. Do you want me to try and 5 minutes or 10? How much time do we have?
We're trying to keep this to a half hour, this show.
So 5 minutes. Let's do a real quickie and jump.
Yeah, 5 minutes would be great.
We'll do a quickie, a chakra quickie. All right.
I can tell everybody I had a quickie with Cheryl. It was amazing.
Okay, so I'm going to close my eyes and say my prayer silently, and we'll begin.
Okay.
Okay. So 3 things, well, 4 things really. First, I want to say, Alan, you have a lot of light in your being. You have a light in your being, and you especially have a lot of light in your eyes. So you generally see the positive in things, and so to remember that and to use that when you feel any kind of rejection. Try and see the good in the bad and the bad in the good. All right.
Okay.
When I tune into your chakras, what's going on here, there's the first thing that I'm being shown is there's a block and you're really moving forward in your life. You're kind of stuck there. You've come this far along, and this is in the subconscious. You are not conscious of this. That it's not okay to become too much, or to be too successful, something like that. That there's a part of you really wants to move forward, and it's like you just have these boulders in your way. Mm-hmm. And so there's some it's usually early childhood, that you need to stay within the box. Don't grow and move beyond the container that maybe your generational family has held for each other. And that's where you are. You're growing beyond where your early, your childhood family or your biological family or people around you have grown. And so there's these boulders sitting there. The other thing that's going on, like I said, you're primarily positive. And yet when when you get the rejection, the heart chakra, you have a wide heart chakra. You love to connect with others. Very, very vibrant. And this chakra is all about love and compassion. But what happens for you, what I was being shown right away, is that, oof, you get this hit on the top of your heart, which is a crushed heart. So there was one major rejection early on in your life that hasn't completely healed. And that it comes up. And so that needs to be healed within you. So you can, do some journaling, or we could talk later, whatever. But this is getting in your way. And that's usually associated with, and I see this in everybody, some betrayals at the back of the heart chakra. And you've done really well with forgiveness. I can see that clearly. And there's still some deeper layers. So I find that often the work is ongoing, but it's on the front and the back of the heart. And you should be able to heal these things whatever this is, relatively easily, because you have a very wide heart. You actually like to be vulnerable. You put yourself out there to do this. Very expansive heart filled with light. I hope that's helpful.
That is, and that's beautiful. I thank you so much for that. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. So the 2 books out, 1 book you're going to be announced or going to be up tomorrow. That's awesome. Amazing. And so tell us about, unless you got some questions, Scott, I'd be curious as to the whole certification program for the Azarias energy healing. Like, what does that look like?
I was just going to say, before we end, I'd like you to give us a takeaway that our listeners and viewers can, take away from the show if they're experiencing, themselves, and they're in a situation where they really feel that, maybe traditional medicine, or they're looking for a traditional subject. I mean, we're with that, but just, is there something that you could share with our listeners and viewers that would help them start down a pathway to maybe looking into their energy and how they could make that more effective in their lives? Sorry,
Yeah.
Alan, go ahead.
I'm very happy to do that. So the Azarias Energy Healing Program came to be when clients of mine were asking me, when are you going to teach this stuff? I felt I'm a healer. People have told me I'm a healer, all that. I'm scared. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know where to go. So then I started teaching it. I put together a program. It's 9 months. And so, people can sign up and do that. And it's really a lot of healers I've found, they have to prepare to do healings. They get exhausted. It uses a lot of energy, and it's not how I teach it. You actually become energized because it's not you doing the healing. I teach people how to open up to the universe moving through you and allowing greater beings to do the healing through you for another, and everybody gets healed and everybody gets energized. So I will say that's sort of the basis. And I want to answer your request, Scott. And so I have what I call my ACE method. And if we can put the link in the show notes.
I downloaded it actually. Yeah.
Awesome. So it's 3 steps, and it's all detailed in my ACE method. A is for access. You want to be able to access those subconscious blocks. And how do we do that? With the full breath. So we need to do some lower abdominal breathing. So maybe Alan and Scott, if you want to do this with me, and the listeners at home, put your hand on your lower abdomen and put your thumb right at your navel, and breathe with a big belly breath. No sucking in your gut. Breathe all down there, not in your chest. And then you exhale and you squeeze the abdominal muscles. And so you keep breathing like this, and you close your eyes, and that's called meditation. And this is not the kind of meditation where you get rid of all thoughts. There won't be any of that. Certain thoughts you can let go, but you want to access what's going on in your subconscious. So this changes the brain function. So when we're breathing normally, it's the medulla oblongata, the back part of the brain, that's in charge of this process of breath. When we engage the abdominal muscles, it goes to the frontal lobal brain and frees up the back of the brain, which is how we access the right brain, the subconscious. So we breathe that way. And we can think of any recent something or other where we didn't feel good. So let's say Scott was rejected by somebody, and it was a 3rd time in one day, and it's the end of the day and he worked late, and he's kind of really down in the dumps. So then Scott's going to sit down and breathe into the root chakra. Always start in your root chakra. Tip of the tailbone is the location. So you breathe down there, you bring your eyes down there, that's where you're focusing, and you do the full breath. And you can start with your thoughts. All your thoughts are on being rejected, Scott, or anybody out there, any problem that you had, or when you had a negative emotion, something that was uncomfortable. And then you go into the emotion. What do I feel? And sometimes it's hard to feel the emotion because so many of us are conditioned to push the emotions away. When that happens, you can do what I do for me. I say, what is it I don't want to feel? What is it I don't want to feel? So I'll use Scott. I'll use you as an example. I'm feeling rejected. And then underneath that, I feel like I'm not enough, or I feel betrayed. I feel betrayed, or I feel sad, or I feel alone, or I feel any of those things. So then you keep breathing into those emotions. You keep breathing, and you want to, what I call, follow the emotional thread. Then you can move into the C for clear. Clear is staying with it. You want to get to the deepest emotion that's in the subconscious. So folks, this is energy that's stuck. Remember I said we're all light. The chakras are light. The energy that's stuck is black. It's not moving. So it's sort of like a plumbing pipe where it's clogged. You just have to poke at it like you do with a plumbing snake. So you feel the emotion enough that it starts to clear, and you'll feel it dissipate. You'll feel the intensity. So I'm giving you the really sort of quick version here. And that's the clearing. And you keep breathing through the emotions, even if you start crying, even if you start bawling your eyes out. But if you start crying really hard, keep the breath going. Because if you stop breathing fully, you can just re-traumatize, re-wound yourself. So the breath is the foundation of this. So you keep doing that until it's cleared. And then the exciting part is the E for empowerment. So you can move into the empowerment phase where you reprogram your subconscious. And so you can allow or decide what's more true for you. What are the real subconscious beliefs that you hold? And the deeper version of this, when we go into the access, is going back to early childhood, even as early as infancy or being in the womb, because even fetuses feel. Science has proven that. And so we can access those, clear those, and then we can reparent our younger self. And that reprograms the subconscious. And this is where we access in the empowerment, when we clear all those blocks, we access the truth of our being. And that's why I say it's for many things in life, those big goals are not really worth setting, because you're in a place of having X number of wounds. And so you can only imagine to your greatest capacity with those wounds. When you clear the wounds, you'll be able to imagine much bigger. And that's what, so in the Client Magnet program, that's what these women were able to do. And then stand in your authentic self, who you really are. And people gravitate to you. The people that need you the most will find you. Those best relationships will just start to naturally happen.
Beautiful, beautiful. And
That's
basically
wonderful.
it's kind of resetting yourself to be a receiver for the abundance and the love and the that you're looking for, right? That you seek, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
And it has to be within you already. You're in alignment with all that you truly are. And so you can receive others exactly as they are, right?
Beautiful. Yeah, that's very nice. Yeah, excellent. And then back to the energy healing certification program. You said 9 months, is that right?
Yes, it's a 9-month program.
And it's all online?
It's all online. It's very practical. There is an online 3-day retreat at the end. There's a practicum. You have to do your practicum to get your certification. And there's, a lot of trainings live, and there's videos to watch and live.
Okay. We do have a couple of audience comments. Our friend from last week, who was so loquacious, who was such a chatter, David Peace Monroe, gave us the big love sign. He loves what we're talking about.
Awesome, David.
Yeah. And Godwin Samuel, he has Lord with a flame, Jesus, Lord Jesus with a little flame. So thank you for that, Godwin. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. And then for somebody who wants to, again, back to the energy healing certification program, do you want to talk about what that tuition costs for that program?
Yes, that tuition is $9,999.
Okay. That sounds pretty close to 10,000. Yeah.
Yes, very close. Very close. But it's an angel number, right? It's 4 nines.
Yeah. Nice. And then how many students have you graduated that are now these powerful energy healers?
I think it's 18.
Nice. Excellent.
That's a big commitment. But of course, people don't need to start there, right? I mean, that's for healing other people. Yeah.
No. And as a matter of fact, I've had people that just jump right into that. The best place to start if you're interested in this work is the throat chakra program. So I've even had people who do the throat chakra program, especially coaches or people, that help others, and they use a lot of the skills with their clients. I'm not one of those people that I had a coach do that to me once, where I had to sign this 12-page document that I'm not going to use anything that we use together and all this. And I signed it, and it just never felt good to me. And so I'm very open. I want people to use whatever I teach. Just use it, use my words, whatever. If it benefits you and benefits others, please. And so the throat chakra program is a great place to start. And that's 11 weeks.
11 weeks. Okay.
So what if I can ask it without being, well, yeah, we're never concerned with being too personal on the show. What journey are you on at this stage in your life? So, you're active in so many things. You've written your third book. What do you see in front of you? What challenges are you working on, and where's Cheryl going to be in another 2 years or 5 years?
Well, my challenge right now is a very unusual challenge. So I started my third book, and that felt really awkward. And then it was almost like I was in the flow with the book, and the book was working me. And
Nice.
I call it my legacy book because it's years of different trainings, and I put all these practices from different modalities into one book. And so I hit a block at one point, which I've hit this block before. This was the deepest layer. From block to powerful, who are you to call yourself powerful? What do you know about power? Who do you think you are? All that stuff.
Right, yeah.
For me. And it didn't hit me that hard, not like it has debilitated me in the past. The imposter syndrome, who do you think you are? And it's like I'm walking my talk even more, because my power it's never ours. It's not our own. It really is the universe moving through us. And so on a very personal note, so I'm teaching for the first time this higher state throat chakra program. And it's a 9-month program, and it's all women that have worked with me before and all know they're meant for more. And they know they have blocks, and they want to move to an even higher level in their being. And so the last, I would say, month and a half, every class I show up to teach, and I have something on the agenda, and I'm, semi-prepared, and they all do their check-in, and I feel through them, they're pulling through me a different topic. Mm-hmm. And so I have to change gears, and everything they need to know just comes through me. I don't skip a beat, and it's just like this. And the last time we met, I just started crying, because I could, the depth of gratitude, the honor that I feel in passing this work on to them. And I get teary thinking about it. It's overwhelming gratitude. So the place I'm really in is what I teach is not knowing and being fine with it, because it's the most fulfilling thing. I get out of those classes and I'm higher than a kite. Wow. God fills me up, and so I'm in uncharted territory.
Nice.
Wonderful.
Nice.
It's an exciting place to be.
Yeah.
So you're just basically like totally in the zone, totally connected, and the words just flow through you, right? You have no script. It just happens. That's beautiful. Do you know?
2-hour classes.
Wow.
I lead a meditation, and
that's awesome. Do you know that Michael Bernard Beckwith? You know who he is?
Yes.
Yeah. I love watching him for the same reason. When he's talking, he's going and he's preaching, and he's like, and then it's like he'll pause and say, "Wow, that was pretty good." And like it was just like it flowed through him, and he kind of caught it as it came out of his mouth, right? It's just like, "Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah, I'm gonna have to write that one down." And the same kind of thing, that he's just there, connected, and just basically like being a conduit who is sharing what spirit or God or creator, whomever, is flowing through him, right? It's a beautiful thing. So yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. It's very new to me at this level, because I just feel really like a vessel like that. And it's so cool. It's so energizing. And that's what the Azarias, when you're an Azarias energy healer, it's energizing, because it's the energy of God, the universe, source, spirit, whatever word you want to use, flowing through you. And you're just receptive and in the flow. So thank you for bringing that out of me. I haven't shared that with anybody. This is
well, that's
H3 is the place for that. We try and
that's how we roll here. Exactly.
Yeah.
We're drawing out the best of you, Cheryl. So
that's amazing.
That is amazing. I love that story. So the chakra, or the throat chakra lesson, is like 11 weeks or something like that, you said, correct? And that is another program that people could go to starofdivinelight.com and enroll on that program too.
Yes, and that's a one-on-one program. I still, I've had many coaches say you need to do one-to-many, you need to do groups, and I've done the groups, but the throat chakra program, when I first work with people, we want to dive deep and we stay one-on-one, and I'm just in tune with you, nobody else. And we're there together, and it's always, every session is a big surprise for people, and people can shift very quickly. And the last session, the 11th session, is a very long chakra reading where I give people practices, because I teach you how to become your own energy worker. And so we do that last session. So I look and see where you've gotten to. Oh, here's a big reduction over here. Oh, this light that was over here is much greater in the flow, and this is happening. And I let them know all the changes, and then the practices that they can use to continue to go forward. So I give them the big, long homework assignment.
Nice.
But if you're interested, you can go to the website, and I did it this afternoon, and you can exchange your email address for the ACE. Just looking for the full title of it. Yeah, the ACE method, and it looks like it's very informative and easy way to sort of, with the information on the website, it's a good way to get, I won't say indoctrinated, but a good place to start from. And because not everyone's going to be ready to jump into a course, and we find a lot of the people that visit us are seeking, right? They're looking for ways to improve their existence and the people around them. So yeah, even if you're not ready to take a course, pop over and have a look. There's some free resources on there, lots of good information, and you can tell from the time Cheryl spent with us, she's got a lot of positive energy to share with people. So.
And the other thing that is not a big ticket item, do the ACE method, and then you can sign up for a chakra reading. It's only $77. And then I will read all your chakras. You get the recording. You can hang on to that. You can turn it into a transcript and learn from that. And I'll let you know what you need to work on. And if you're doing the practices, I'll guide you in that, and you can continue on.
That is beautiful. In true H3 fashion, we've gone overtime again. We're trying to keep it to 30 minutes so that it could be podcastable, if you will, right? But we're a little over that time again. So if you want to stick around for just a moment, Cheryl, we're just going to do our little sign off, but then we can still stay connected if you wish.
Thank you.
Okay, Scott, take us home, brother.
Well, from my very good friend, Alan Friesen, the acapellist, and our incredible guest, Cheryl, I thank you for joining us and spending time with us this week, and we'll be back next week. Do take time to visit Cheryl's website. The address is at the bottom of your screen, and check it out. You deserve it. Thanks very much.
Get a match in. Keep